So I was thinking about giving an update on what I got going on. So the truck that's stopped back there, which eventually will pass here, has some numbers on it that I was trying to get. And I don't know why he dropped so slow. It's a red light. Anyway, we'll talk about what happened in Nashville. But you'll see a synchronicity when this truck passes, right? Right there, the 227. Anyway, ATI, all there is, right? Another word for God, if you will, or source or whatever. But what I was thinking about when that synchronicity happened, that coincidence, big red truck 227, was explaining the reality show, right? The reality show is a reality show of an angel artist / matrix engineer. The reality show of Neo broadcasting within the matrix, or reality show of Trueman from the Truman Show. If he came back into that false reality and tried to tell the actors that they're acting in a role that's detrimental to them. Or what happened if Jesus came back? Not the Jesus of the Bible, but a real character, a real person. Yeshua or Joshua, if you want to use what the name probably meant. Just a guy like you and I that became awake within this matrix back then, didn't have the same terminology that we have now, didn't have the internet, blah, 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 had ancient knowledge that we probably don't have access to now, or is esoteric or hidden. Anyway, there's a backstory there, we won't go there. But yeah, a real person like that, that was against the church and the state. Had some anger issues, you know. Jesus had anger problems, but he learned to control that. He wondered, why him? Why hast thou forsaken me, right? Why me, God? Why you choose me to have this path? He knew some of the things he was going to have to deal with. He knew the church was corrupt. He knew the state was corrupt. And so he tried to play the game, and he had to watch what he said because he knew they were trying to get him. So, you know, it is what it is. The same game Dr. King tried to play. Except he had his hand in the cookie jar. Same game Malcolm tried to play, except he was affiliated with people that didn't want him to reach the potential that he wanted to get. So there's different reasons why certain people that come here and try to illuminate what's going on with the church and the state are stopped. And the last ones were Malcolm and Martin, and I'm in Memphis where Martin was killed. And his death place was turned into a museum, and people come and visit there and take selfies near the Lorraine Hotel, but aren't picking up that baton that he had. So I'm one of those guys that's crazy enough to pick up the baton and have studied those people in the past and learned from them and incorporated some of their characters into my character. So my character is a combination of many characters, dead and alive, right? And now I'm acting on that myself, right? So I'm a new thing, I'm not the next Martin, I'm not the next Malcolm, I'm not the next Jesus or whatever. I am me, I'm Michael, I'm Victor, but I'm picking up the work of those guys on a large scale. And I've been doing this for a while. The backstory is there, the 100-degree challenge is there. I've tried to do it very simply. If God is everything, or all there is, there's nothing that it isn't, including you. And what if God only makes angels, right? So just start there. We're not getting into religion. Spirituality is looking at it all, the physical and non-physical. It's looking at who is experiencing their religion. Who is the scientist? Scientists just are looking at things that can be measured. Who is doing the measurement? Who is the observer, right? When you look at this reality, it is built on non-physical things. The non-physical reality is primary to the physical reality, okay? So this is the spiritual reality. We're spiritual beings having a human experience. That's what people have been talking about for ages. So I'm going to stop talking about it, and I'm just demonstrating that. But I'm just kind of giving you a summary of kind of what's been happening. And also from Nashville standpoint, I've been trying to broadcast as loud as I can. And I was actually seen then. I tripped some servers, if you will. And I was listening to, now just explain the story briefly, and we'll get into detail in that episode, the Nashville episode. I don't want to get ahead of myself. But there was a lot of things that were going on last weekend with AI and some very interesting things with just agents, if you will. I just call them agents. So in Nashville, I'm shooting a music video. I'm listening to music in my ears, on my iPhone. So I'm not connected to the internet or anything like that, at least, you know, in the mainstream sense. Like, I'm not watching videos or anything. Like, I'm listening to music, right? And anyway, I'm trying to see if something changes. Like, I'm being observant of my surroundings. I'm being flamboyant for a reason in my movement through the crowd, safely, but I know I'm getting attention and making attention on purpose. I'm trying to trip some things and see what happens, right? So there was a skip. You can tell, like, there was a skip in the matrix, if you will. And I heard it in the music, right? It's like, how often does your MP3 skip? And there were other things that lined up with that. And when that happened, I'm looking around like, okay, something just happened, something just changed. And I'm looking around for where it is. And right in front of me, and I'm walking in the middle of the strip of Nashville with a white glove and a mint hat and a tie on, sticking out, right? You know, doing this with the white glove, you know, beating a imaginary drum, which is what I'm listening to in my head for the video that I'm shooting. So, you know, it's looking weird. And then in front of me, I see this lady recording with her phone where I walked up, and it was like, ah, that's you. And we'll go into detail, but yeah, so it was interesting to see him, and it was interesting to record him. So yeah, we got that footage as well. So what I'm talking about, the majority of it has been documented, right? This is a reality show about a guy that woke up in the Matrix and is showing other people the potential that they have within themselves in this reality, right here, right now, during this time. So, and I'm documenting it. A lot of people will sleep through this transition that we're going on now and watch the world change around them by people that are awake during this time. This is a very important time, and it is a time where humanity is going to open up doors that have been closed off for various reasons for a long time. And the people that are aware of that are helping open those doors, and we're going to experience a new reality. We're going to be able to create the reality we want to experience. And part of the suppression of this is lowering the attention span, making things quick, instant gratification. And that's part of the intention, because these things are not things that can be done quickly, right? Some things take time. You know, babies take time to develop. You know, you pull a baby out too early, there's potential issues with that, right? Things take time. Caterpillars take time to go from the cocoon to the butterfly. You don't want to rush that. If you just pop open the cocoon before it's finished, then it's not going to be a butterfly, right? So things take time. And this is a long video, I know. I'm explaining things not quickly, well, sort of quickly, but I'm explaining things with some kind of depth, I would hope. And we can get into Q&A and all that stuff. But I'm saying a lot of people will not listen to the whole length of this video because it's too long, and I get that. But what if at the end of that video, at the end of that link, at the end of that work is your reward that you've been waiting and you've been working for the entire time? What if the short instant gratification is not the lasting gratification? What if the long-term thing is the more permanent thing, and you can do that and then not have to do anything else after that, you know? So just think about that, and we'll get into it in detail. I think when I do the summary for Nashville, I try to go live then, and then so you'll see us kind of filming behind the scenes as part of the episode. And we're gonna be shopping this to Netflix, and we're gonna go to Hollywood and shop this as well. So we did Memphis, well, we did Atlanta, Nashville. We're gonna do New Orleans next weekend, or this weekend coming up, and Memphis. That's 4 episodes. We're gonna, you know, chop that up. And then the 5th episode, we're gonna be in LA, shopping the 4, recording the 5th, and that's gonna be part of the reality show. And the people that are gonna say no for whatever reason, and they'll be part of the story, right? You know, who says no to Neo or Jesus when, or whoever that character is that would do the most good in this reality? Superhero, Thor, Black Panther, whoever you want to name, right? Because we're incorporating all that into what we're doing, because we're trying to make it entertaining and enlightening at the same time. And you guys love superheroes, so we created our own superheroes that are doing work right here in this reality. Time traveling, interdimensional, black aliens, right? So that's what we got going on. And I'm talking about real things and truth here that will help you, right? The leader of a leaderless movement, okay? So that's what we got going on. Sorry for the long video, but I kind of wanted to talk through these things. I'm going to be talking less. You'll see it. I'm just going to show you, but some people are coming to this now and they're not going to know what they're looking at. So if you've seen it or you've been there for the time leading up to this, just help them out. Peace, y'all.